Hey now, it is Tuesday night, November 8th, 2022. We're here in Chicago, Illinois. Up on the north side. Thank you for joining us. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We are on Twitch, Facebook Live. Eventually, we'll be live on Blog Talk Radio, perhaps, but we'll definitely be able to get the podcast out shortly after we record this here live. I forget how to do all this damn stuff. My name is Clark Lawrenson, at Clark in Chicago. This fella here to, while you're watching it, to your left, to my right, that's Alfred Ferdinand Larcher the third.
Well, hello, Clark. It's wonderful to be here. It's an election Tuesday. You know, the birth of Justin Fields as a real quarterback.
Wait a minute. It's election day?
Exciting weekend of fantasy football.
It's election day? Fuck. The polls close in 70 minutes. I'll see you. I'll be back.
Yeah. Well, we know you voted like a week ago.
Bringing that
That's
up.
fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. Voted first in line this morning, my friend. 6:05 p.m. Boom. Right there.
Nice. I don't waste my time.
I had to show him how to do it. I had to show him how to do it. Yeah.
Nice. But I did get, I got the I got some food delivered today. I did one of those app deliveries, where they send you a week's worth of food and you just eat it. And I'm not sure if I'm paying paying 100 times what I would for lean cuisines, and I'm basically getting lean cuisine.
That'll happen quite a bit there, I have found. Yeah. Am I frozen? Are you frozen? Who's the one frozen here? I know there were some internet issues your way. I generally, sometimes I have the internet issues. Oh shit. I got to get a cable. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, this is fun. Welcome to the show. Another exciting evening here in the Sports Addict. Justin Fields goes off this weekend. Very exciting stuff. He rushes for a record. He just keeps running and running and running. And thankfully, I played him in some fantasy this weekend, and I was about 10 points away from $50,000 because I had him, I had Mixon, I had the Bears stack, so I had Hill. So it was a profitable weekend. And I did on the backs of Justin Fields. The problem is this week in fantasy football, of course, is Justin Fields is going to be the most owned quarterback. So, the secret's out that he's the real deal. And we've been talking about that on this program, for weeks. To just have a little patience, just trust in what he is and who he will be, because the numbers are there. The data supports that this is a legitimate quarterback. He actually has a better data metrics and better in just about every statistical stat than Josh Allen was in the same span of 9 games. So just something to look at. I'm also waiting on Justin Fields news or Josh Allen news. My understanding is it's cloudy right now as to what's going on with Josh Allen. Reports of some elbow issues that it could be as severe as being out the entire season, the rest of the season, and the Bills' chances tanking to just a couple of weeks. So I'm trying to get a little clarity going on what's happened with his elbow injury. He is being evaluated. So we'll find out what's going on with the University of Wyoming QB, and hopefully we'll get some clarity soon. So yeah, that's what's going on. Didn't do much this weekend. Just kind of stayed in and chilled. And I got a new cable box thing, a Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi went down last week, so we'll see if we have any problems here tonight with that. And I have no idea what Clark is doing. He's disappeared. So it's just me and the cat, and the cat doesn't have a lot to say. We finished the Netflix show El Rey, finally over. 30 hours of that. Well worth it. I started on Dahmer, and I read a book when I was a kid on Jeffrey Dahmer because it happened right around the time like I was in like say fifth, sixth grade. It was all over the news, so I was curious, and I went to the bookstore. This is like a year after, and there was a book all about Jeffrey Dahmer and the whole Dahmer experience. And it feels a lot like this miniseries. Like it was very heavy into his parents and like his story. And I'll never forget. I was in like like I say, like seventh or eighth grade, and I'm reading this book in class, and the teacher sees it and realizes I'm reading a Jeffrey Dahmer book and takes it away from me. And my mom had to come in and get the book because they felt it wasn't age appropriate, and they were wondering if I was a serial killer because they started asking me like, do you kill animals or whatnot? I'm like, no. I'm just reading a book about Jeffrey Dahmer. It's curious. How do you know I'm not going to be a criminologist when I grow up? I mean, that's what I wanted to do, but no, they took the book away, and now I'm just a degenerate gambler in an attic with a cat. So,
There you
thank
go.
you,
Hey,
school system.
I'm here, Al. I'm back.
Great, great.
Damn near lost power to the computer. Everything's wrong. The pieces that used to work don't work anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened here.
I don't know when I do the show, the fantasy show on Friday mornings. We're set. We're ready to go right away. No problems. Just hit the button and go. Oh, what's going on over there? You got you usually have 6 cameras. You're down to just a black screen right now.
Yeah, we're
And
done. No camera. The camera's fucked. That's
great.
all right though. I'll be right here. Just me and that little black circle there, getting her done. This fucking thing.
That's fine. It's fine. I don't like being on camera anyway. So, well, that solves that. So, I mean, did you hear what happened to me, Clark? They took away my Jeffrey Dahmer book when I was a kid.
No, I came in on the end of that Dahmer thing. You said they thought you were a serial killer?
Well, they caught me reading a Jeffrey Dahmer book in like eighth grade, so they took it away from me. It might even have been freshman year of high school. And yeah, now Jeffrey Dahmer's he's the shit. Everybody's watching that Netflix thing. Well, everybody watched it already. I'm getting a little late because of El Rey, but
I watched the
I started the Dahmer miniseries.
Yeah, I watched the first episode a few months back, and or I don't know, a few weeks back, I guess it would be. I didn't get caught up, so I'm not much further than you, if any, on it. First episode was solid.
Yeah, it seems pretty good, and the series just got picked up for another 2 seasons.
Oh, it did?
So we'll get Dahmer Part 2 and Dahmer Part 3, which is very exciting.
Okay, that's cool.
Actually, that's not true. They're just they're picking a different serial killer. But
okay,
I was a little confused when that news broke. I'm like, well, what are they going to do? Like fictionalize Jeffrey Dahmer into multiple seasons? But it turns out they're gonna find other serial killers to focus on. So
oh, that's wild. Okay. Well,
so Justin Fields, what do you think about him?
Al, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. That's I mean, I got kind of said what I thought about him over the years,
I'm
over
back.
the season. I've
Hello.
found him to be. Hello.
Yep, I'm here. Hello.
Okay.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Is this thing on? Hello. Hello.
Well, I don't know why you're coming through my TV now instead of my headphones, but you are.
Oh,
So I don't know what that means, but
me neither. This I don't know what happened. I think maybe the kids got into this and everything's messed up now. I can't get anything to work.
okay. Well, I guess we'll do a show next week. We'll find out what's going on with Dallas and everything else because this
No,
doesn't seem.
I don't want to wait. for this, but now I'm coming through your TV, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. Ridiculous. I'm sorry, man. I have no idea what to do here. But anyway, I guess we can try. What here, let me see. Yeah. Yeah. So far so good. It's great to be back with you here on another flawless night, a flawless show. This is wonderful. I've missed like 3 shows in a row at this point, Al, because we now do 2 a week. I've been unable to be there. We didn't do the show. We didn't do one the week when I got back, Tuesday. That was the draft, the trade deadline. Pretty exciting day. Pretty wild, pretty weird. Monday was the trade of Roquan last week. And then yeah. It's been a week. And then the Bears lost the game on Sunday. Nothing else to talk about with it.
Yeah, I mean, they lost, and that's good. I mean, I want them to continue to lose while showing that their offense is improving. And then, you could finish up fixing the offense in the offseason and start working on the defense. There's still so many holes in this team. It's a very exciting from a fantasy aspect and from an actual football aspect, Bears versus Lions this week, because you have 2 teams with absolutely no defense playing each other, and both offenses showing life. The Detroit Lions offense is real. I mean, they're a real offense. They got their pieces in place already. Of course, Jared Goff questionable as quarterback. As far as his ceiling goes, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I would rather have Justin Fields, even in this early stages of his career, than where Goff is. Because he's peaked. But they have better wide receivers. They had a better tight end, I guess. That's now with the Minnesota Vikings. But they obviously have better running back and better wide receivers. So it could be a big shootout this week.
Yep.
And that's some exciting stuff.
I'm excited to see it. Let's see what happens. The football game the other day, Justin Fields, he's fast. We saw it there in Dallas, of course. It's been a few weeks in a row. A week or so before that, things were really, really kind of clicking. Different, the team doing a few different things with him. I think adding number 10, I think adding Claypool helped spread it out just a bit as well. Maybe a little more confidence with the team. I think when that trade happened out last Tuesday, a week ago today, I guess my thought there was, well, maybe this right here is just another piece that may help to keep him developing. As you mentioned, developing is what you wanted to see. So
Yeah.
Good to see him. I mean, he's not, the end all of wide receivers or anything, but he's pretty good. Like he's a pretty good receiver, better than they've had it around. It seems like. So let's see.
Well, Chase Claypool's a competent number 2 receiver. The question is
Perfect. That's what I
the
need
other
right
guy
now.
is Mooney a number 1 receiver? I don't know that the answer is yes to that. So we still need to find a number 1, and then if we do find a solid number 1 wide receiver, with the complements of both Claypool and Mooney, you see the things starting to come together. Komet's looking a little better at tight end. The offense is still very misleading. I know they only gave up like a sack this week, but a lot of what's helping the offensive line is Justin Fields' running. When you could take off and run, it forces the defensive line not to be as aggressive. You have to contain more. You can't just fire down and go after the quarterback. You have to be conscious of the quarterback's legs. So that helps the offensive line tremendously. And when you have a quarterback rush for 178 yards on 15 attempts and a touchdown, it's very easy to help that offensive line out. So
Yeah.
I know it seems like that offensive line is better, but it really isn't. It's just smoke and mirrors at this point. So I mean that's still a situation that needs to be taken care of. But with the scheming they're doing now, with the way the offensive is playing, they are going to be able to hide that offensive line a little bit and make some things happen. And again, you're going up against the Detroit Lions, which is just a god awful defense. So it should be an exciting game this week. I believe Chicago is favored by 3. Pretty decent over and under. I think it's right up there with the highest over unders on the week, and only the Jacksonville Kansas City game is higher. And it's gonna be good to continue to watch the progress because now all the eyes are on Justin Fields. Now people are starting to believe. Elijah used to call in earlier in the season, and he was ready to throw the towel in on Fields, and a lot of people were over on the Twitter. They before everyone left. They were all on Justin Fields' ass when in reality it was just like give this guy time and understand the situation he's in, which is what I've been preaching since week 1 here, and it's starting to come to fruition that this guy's probably a legit quarterback.
Yeah, I would say it. It was really nice to see Sunday's game. To be excited about watching football, to be excited about seeing the Chicago Bears playing football, to watch Justin Fields doing things out there that you just don't see everybody doing. Is he? I mean, the talk since then, in the few days since then, has been, does this mean he's the guy? Like, and I saw things that were fantastic, absolutely, and I'm in. Like, I am fully in. You remember when they drafted him, Al? I was pretty down on it for a couple days. It took a minute to talk me into.
Oh, you were insufferable. You were an insufferable prick about the whole thing. Yeah, I remember.
Al,
I remember vividly.
Come up with an opinion different than yours, and I'm insufferable. It's always that way, so it's fine. Like,
it was a really bad. It was a bad opinion
that you don't share with me. You feel like it's the worst. Like I'm just an asshole. That's it.
Well, because you don't have good opinions. Like, hey,
I don't. Well, then I don't understand why you're hosting a show with me. Like, if I don't have good opinions, if I'm not good at then what the fuck? Like, you always just tear into them. Like, that's why I don't have opinions, because you just tear into them. I don't know what the fuck to do.
That's why you don't have opinions. Because like when you were talking about Justin Fields, it was like you weren't upset about his running matrix, his throwing matrix. You were upset of the college he came from.
No, it had nothing to do with Ohio State. I never said that.
Yeah,
it had everything to do with the Bears trading up. It had everything to do with the Bears trading up to get a quarterback. The last time I'd seen that happen, it didn't fucking work. I didn't know much about Justin Fields other than what I saw him do in the title game.
No, you were upset. You were upset about the college. You definitely were. Like, we can go back in the tape on that. And
well, of course I'm upset. Like, but that's not real. Like,
right, but when it's not real, you play heavy into it.
Huh?
Even if it's not real, quote unquote, you play heavy into it.
When I'm being sarcastic, it annoys you. When I'm being sarcastic about things, it annoys you. So I play into things. I learn to commit to the part.
Well, then you can't get mad at me for getting upset if you're playing into the part to upset me.
Well, right? I'm not playing into the part to upset you. I'm playing into the part to have an opinion.
You were. I love when you have an opinion.
I don't have opinions. My opinions aren't worthy.
Okay.
God damn it. This stuff is in bad shape here. No, I didn't like it that when they drafted him, and I was wrong. And I knew that pretty quickly that I was wrong. I just didn't. It was an ignorant upset. It was meatball bear fandom, Al. That's what it was. And I mean, I can admit that. I know that. That's fine. What I do know is that what I've seen from him is that he's a great quarterback. A few weeks back, I talked to my father-in-law and all these people, he can't throw. He can't throw. Well, bullshit. I saw a throw to Darnell Mooney for a touchdown that nobody makes. I saw a 4th down fucking pass that would have extended the game after the bullshit no call on the pass interference that was right to EQ, Equinemius St. Brown, that just went right through his fucking hands. He put it in about the only place he could. I saw Fields making some quick decisions. When he did that pump fake on that 61-yard run, he looked real quick. He was going to throw it over to the guy. And then he thought, hang on. And that pump fake was fucking brilliant. And it was all on the fly. So don't tell me he's not good at making decisions out there. It's good.
He is a good quarterback, and now time just to accept it and build around him. You know,
It's
the fans who couldn't get on board with him, they need to jump on the bandwagon fast and party on, because now is the time.
it's so hard to admit that the Bears might have a top 10 quarterback, a top 8 quarterback. Like, it's fucking weird. The number one quarterback of the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the last 5 weeks he's the best fantasy quarterback overall. He's QB1. And I mean, a lot of that has to do with putting up, 46 fantasy points this last week, and damn near winning me $50,000 in the process. We couldn't quite get there. I mean, I was in a field of 6,000 people, and I was one of only a handful of people who had Mixon and Josh Allen and Hill. I just needed Cole Kmet to kind of seal the deal.
Right.
So I should have double stacked. I should have done what I always preach and double stacked, but instead I single stacked. And, there was a difference between probably $20,000 at least. Because I only walked away with $1,000 at the end of the day. But although that's not true, because I started a lot of Justin Fields. I was like 20% in on him. In 150 man and the 20 team league. So, I made profit everywhere I played him. I mean, it was just great. Unfortunately, this week in DraftKings, he's $1,000 more. Still worth it. I mean, his price hasn't reached the level he needs to be at. He should be in the $7,000 range at this point, going up against Detroit.
What's he going to cost?
He's $6,500, which is very appropriate. He's the same price of, say, a Dak Prescott or a Tua Tagovailoa. He's right there in that price range. But Josh Allen's 8,600. We don't even know if he's playing.
Right.
Which could really screw me, because I have him in the Scott Fish Bowl, and I officially made the playoffs this week. I'm first place in the Scott Fish Bowl league in my division. Although I'm not the leading point scorer, and I'm 250th overall, and I've qualified for the playoffs now with 13 plus wins. I have 14 wins on the year. You need 13 to get in the playoffs. So I'm in the playoffs, but I need my Josh Allen to get me there, and now it looks like he could be out possibly the year. So we're just kind of waiting on news. Vegas has not reacted yet.
No. I tried to make an offer. I tried to trade. Vegas hasn't reacted, you said? Everything's staying
Vegas
the same?
hasn't reacted. I mean, the Bills are still 6.5 point favorites.
Okay.
And
so they don't have any insight.
The over under is still high. So at 46.5, which obviously is going to go down.
Right.
As soon as if he's ruled out, which seems, I don't know. Like, there's reports all over the place. Nobody has a firm answer right now.
Okay. So. I knew that was happening, and as you had mentioned, or as I mentioned a few minutes ago myself, I made some trade offers. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm all in on Fields. Fields is my backup to Jalen Hurts. Let's see if I can improve in some other areas of my game. Let's go. Let's just go. I'm so far down in that league that I need to make a shot for it. And if there's even a shot, I haven't done the math. There's probably not. But anyway, so I offered to this guy who has Jared Allen, and I made a sweet offer, and he came back to me with
Josh
absolutely dog shit. Yeah, what'd I say, Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a difference? There's a difference?
There's a difference, yes.
There is. All right, good. Yeah. So Jared Allen, he's somebody else. But Josh Allen, I made an offer with that Zach fella when it comes to the trade, and he declined, and he made just a horseshit offer back at me. And Al, what he wanted to give me was, so I made a pretty solid offer to start it all.
Okay.
And it would have been, here, are you ready for this? Yeah. I was going to go with offer 4 people. He was going to give me 3 back.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
For Njoku. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Let me try this again. The trade was actually going to be 2 for 3. So he was going to give me Garoppolo and Aaron Jones, whatever. I was going to give him Hines and Tony and Hurts. I get it. Not such a great, thing, but he was still on a decent end of that. He came back at me with just like the most ridiculous thing. He wanted Aaron Jones straight up for Fields. That wasn't working. And he also wanted, how about he wanted to go Evan Ingram. Oh no, holy shit. He's making these right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch back up to this, but yesterday as it played out, it was much easier to explain than it is for me right now as a host of this show. Anyway, Zach, he never makes good offers. So I make one offer to Joe Green. You know what happens there, Al? Joe Green comes
Easy
back.
Trade.
Easy
trade.
Yeah, he comes back to me with a counter, and boom, it's there. That's it. Here's what the trade was. Here's what I offered him. I offered him Hines, Pittman, and Jalen Hurts to be returned with Foreman, Waddle, and Trevor Lawrence. He came back and said, hey, add the kicker in, and that's a deal. And I said, absolutely, that's a fucking deal. Easy.
You got my Waddle?
I got your Waddle.
I just traded him. Oh, my God.
Didn't you just trade him Foreman, too, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he didn't want these fucking players, then I would have been happy keeping them. Unbelievable.
He just upgraded from Trevor Lawrence. He just upgraded from Trevor Lawrence to Jalen Hurts and also got Pittman in the deal, who,
Yeah, why didn't you come to me? I would have given you two of the lower.
I almost came to you last week. Yeah, but I don't know. But maybe. I've got Fields. That's the deal there. But yeah, Green's the guy there. You traded with him last week. I traded with him this week.
I had a massive trade with him. I kind of regret making. Basically, I mean, it comes down to I got Cooper Kupp. He got Devontae Adams, and I think Devontae Adams going forward might actually be the better play. And then I think I upgraded my running back a little bit. I mean, I got rid of Devontae, which was probably a mistake because then I got Uncle Lenny. I got Lenny Fournette, who statistically is the better play, but he is losing snaps to White over there in Tampa Bay. So I mean, I might have been fleeced. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, I don't know if you fleeced might not be the right term there.
And I mean, the biggest thing I was upset losing was Waddle. Like that's the one I wanted to keep more than anything. I should have countered.
Yeah, I mean, seems like you're doing all right. No.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens there. But yeah, that was my go for it trade. We'll see what happens. Al, I think that there's a couple of teams that will likely be shedding some salary cap. And just off the top of your head, a team that's really, really in debt for next season would be the New Orleans Saints, and them along with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Bears have a lot of cap space. They've got quite a few assets when it comes to draft picks. Off the top of your head right now, going into week 10 of the 2022 season, anything entice you from those two teams? Like right now, here's where they are. This is why I think it could be. For cap space, they're at the bottom two, right? For next season. They are at a negative 62 million for the New Orleans and negative 48 for Tampa. And they're probably both going to be in this mode of because they're both spinning their tires right now. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, if we could get like a Mike Evans, I mean, my God, all for that. I mean, I don't think that's happening, but
yeah, I mean, I think that's a little much money, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what they do after all is said and done. What are your thoughts on Ryan Poles right now?
I mean, undecided. It's still. I think the coaching situation is becoming more and more clear that it was probably a good hire. So,
Yeah.
I think the coaching is disguising a lot of the flaws that Ryan Poles left by assembling this team or not assembling this team this year. And but he did hire the coaching staff that is getting the job done. So, I mean, that's a positive. Um, I still think the offensive line that was wheeled out this year is just like unacceptable, and I don't know that he had a lot of options um, to make it better. That wasn't an overreaction, so I'm willing to kind of like hold off a little bit of the judgment, but I'm still not like sold on him by any means. I'm not sold on him whatsoever. The consensus is he pretty much overpaid for Chase Claypool, um, and we didn't get like getting rid of a stud defensive player. I mean, not getting first round out of the deal um, is also a little questionable, but it wasn't like egregious. It wasn't like we gave these players away or
Right.
we gave the farm to get somebody. We weren't Mike Ditka trying to get Ricky Williams.
True.
Or us getting Jay Cutler or
Right.
or Mac. The Mac thing
Right.
was a disaster. So yeah, I mean it's still an incomplete grade is where we're at,
Yeah.
and I think that's fair because you could start judging the coaching staff because we're 9 weeks into them doing their job. We haven't really seen a full off season of polls yet to give a fair judgment. So I mean the grade is incomplete. It's hopeful though. I'm not like you see a student. I'd imagine if you're a teacher and you see a student, you go, oh, well, this kid's gonna he's trending towards failing, and I can't see him turning it around. I think this guy is trending towards a B plus to a B grade, and if he continues doing his homework and maybe does a little extra credit, he could get an A.
There you go. All right. I like that. I think so. As we know, it sounds pretty much like the Bears had to give up that pick the second rounder that they got from the Ravens in order to get Claypool. In order for the Packers to not have him, and it came out that the reason why the Bears went out was because Pittsburgh felt that they'd likely have a better pick for them, right? Like the Bears pick would be worth a little bit more than.
Well, it was I think the Bears were willing to take on more of the money of the cap of
Sure, that
Claypool
too. Yeah.
because they have
Yeah.
the money to do so. So
Right.
I think that was a big part of it.
What I want to happen though, whether or not the pick going to the Bears because they thought that it'd be a better pick, I want the Packers to finish below the Bears this season, and I do think that that's a possibility. I'm not here to hold a funeral for Aaron Rodgers. I'm not here to hold a funeral for that team up north and their dominance of the division because, quite frankly, we're just not there yet. Right now, we're all chasing the Vikings, right?
Right.
That said, if there's any year for the Bears to finish ahead of them, it's right fucking now. I think it's
I mean
I'm petty. The hell with it.
It's a disaster. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is he's upset. His best receiver is Alan Lazard. Sammy Watkins is a dust ball.
Yep.
Samori Torrey is a wide receiver who's going to probably see some playing time this week. Christian Watson hasn't been healthy. Amari Rodgers. I mean, there's nothing going on in Green Bay for the guy, and you can't do everything yourself. He does have Tanya, and I think Tanya's a pretty good tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Aaron Jones is legit, and they're underdogs against Dallas. It's gonna be a tough week. You can't really run on Dallas, so you're gonna have to pass the ball. And Aaron Rodgers has no one to pass to, and he's definitely not as good as he's been. He's not as sharp. He's not making wide receivers. He used to kind of have a reputation being able to make anybody into a stud wide receiver, and that's not the case. This Packer organization has done him wrong. He is a victim A lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers and they want to shit on him. But in this case, in this sense, he's a victim. He's a victim to the crime that the Green Bay organization has committed against him, which is just absolutely derelict in their duties as an organization. And quite frankly, everybody who has those pieces of paper that say they're owners should be ashamed of themselves. They should be down there at Lambeau Field protesting how egregious this organization has been over the last 4 or 5 years. The organization's been bad for a while now, but now it's starting to really reflect on the field. And I think they are going to start entering a dark period. I think we're nearing the end of the Green Bay dominance, and they're going to be moving towards a Browns-like football team. And
Gosh,
good for them.
Please, can we have that, please, Al? That's all that I want. It's just that. What's so hard for that to happen? I hardly remember a time. I do remember a little bit of Bears football before Brett Favre, of course.
Yeah.
Mikowski, Magic or some shit like that. I remember that guy. And then Favre. That's it. And then, you know the rest.
Yeah, and the rest is certainly ugly and not favorable towards the Chicago Bears.
No.
But if we have the quarterback, if we have a top 6 quarterback, then I mean our future is very bright, and we're gonna find that out next season, where we're at. I mean, I don't think we're going to a Super Bowl next year. I'm not unrealistic, but I think we could be a playoff team next year with the right moves in the offseason if the quarterback is the guy. And, I said, I don't know when you were fiddling around with wires or whatnot. I don't know if you heard me mention this, but statistically speaking, Justin Fields is playing better than Josh Allen did over his first 9 games or over a 9-game stretch in the same period of their careers. So they're very comparable. I mean, it's like Justin Fields has more touchdowns or a little less interceptions or something, or they're equal in all categories, but Josh Allen has like 100 yards more rushing than Josh Allen did. And you cannot just look at numbers and go, this is an indication of that he's going to be the next Josh Allen.
Right.
You can't do that because I mean they're different players, but different scenarios, different teams. But it does kind of paint a picture that this may be a good sign. It's a factor in the right direction. So,
what I've been wanting to ask you for a couple weeks here is about like Fields. It looks is effortless the right word? It looks like he could just blow by people, and then when they tell they got the chip in the ball to tell you how fast they're going, and then they always say that this week he had 3 of the top. He hit the top speed as far as running with the ball this week.
Yeah.
It's effortless out there. And I know that's the appearance, but I mean, it's hard to catch. And I get why, you would think, how's he getting away from these people? But he just blows by them.
He's a big
Gets out of
dude,
bounds.
too.
He's getting out of bounds now, too. He did take a hit or two this game, but he did a great job of getting out. He did a great job of going down when he needed to, but he knows he can get by people, too.
Right.
It's going fantastic so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Right now, Pro Football Focus has him ranked as the 17th best quarterback. And, I mean, obviously that's trending upward. His passing matrix is very low. That's the issue. His rushing matrix is, it's Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Fields as far as rating goes when it comes to running the ball, being a quarterback, who can pull the ball down and run. I mean, the guy's he's good. He's 23 years old, and there's so much to look forward to with Justin Fields, and it's exciting right now to be a Bears fan and be in this situation. I wish we were a couple years in the future and we were closer to the dome. Now, you've had some hot takes on domes, the Chicago Bears domes in the past, but now you've experienced the dome living. You went to Dallas. We haven't talked about your trip to Dallas.
Well, they had it open.
No one kicked your ass in Dallas. I'm surprised.
They had it open when I was there. It was open.
But it's still the dome.
Feels very domey. Yeah. It's fantastic. It's gorgeous. And if I'd have hit that Powerball, which was this morning, I don't know if you heard, but the drawing got pushed back to this morning because of technical difficulties. I don't know. I'm going to call bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. Yep. The integrity of it is out the window. No, if I'd have won that, I was going to do what I was going to do with that money. There's tons of good that you can do, but I was going to do everything that I could to get a campaign going. I was going to start with billboards. I was going to go for it. And I was going to get them to sell that team some land down along the lakefront, down here, just on the other side of Lakeshore Drive, out there, just out on museum campus, and build that effing dome out there. But alas, it didn't happen.
Yeah, thank God.
And now they're going to put it out in Arlington. That'll be great. We'll drive all the way out there, just like we did, just like I had to do in Dallas. You know, you leave the city, you no longer get that city feel, and you go out to a parking lot, and then you walk into a big old building and you watch a good football game, and you enjoy the space. Man, it was massive. It was excellent. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And let me tell you something, ticket prices, Al, they jumped on us a little bit when we weren't quite ready on the apps. So then we had to, as they came back down, we had to pull the trigger. And at that point, Al, the upstairs seats, the 400 level, they were starting to meet the 100 level. And we just said, fuck it. And we jumped up and we took it and we went.
Good. Yeah. Looks like you had some fun seats right there.
Yeah, we did.
Right there near the end zone.
Fields had a great game there too. Like the team, you know, they did fine. They got a little bit close to Dallas, but I mean, Dallas with that fucking defense, you know, and obviously their offense scored 49. But
man, when I was,
you put up 30 points.
I didn't even buy a lot of
on Dallas, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's a good deal because they are a legit defense. I mean, they could stifle a run like no other.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know, most of the day in DraftKings, I was sitting at $20,000 at second place. I don't think there was a chance I was gonna hit the first place at the 50,000, but I was sitting at second place, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna fall, but you know, I have been in this position before and I've held it. So I you start going like, okay, 20 grand, what can I do? And I tell you what, WrestleMania, I started booking WrestleMania.
You're going to LA?
I was going to LA. I was starting to look, you know, like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this right.
Let's go. There you go.
But that didn't happen. The $1,000 is basically going to cover my losses on the air. So
Cena's supposed to be there, Al. I saw that today. Cena's going to be there, huh?
Oh, really?
I didn't
hear
the word.
Oh.
The word is, people expect Cena to be there. No, that's great. I was going to ask you, were you, I know your Sunday sleep is just fucked during the NFL season, of course, pardon the language, but were you on the DraftKings in the red zone a lot right then with the end of that Bears game? How long after that Bears game ended, which they show on the red zone too, but how long after that Bears game ended? That's a two-part question for you. First of all, rewatching that, but after that, did it take you to go, all right, we're good? Or is it always there? Like, yeah, this is the best case scenario. There was a bad call by the refs. Then this happened. We had a shot at it. It felt like the rug got cut out from under us with a bad call, and they lost the game. They don't lose any spots in draft order.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts? Moral victory? That's the talk.
Yeah, moral victory is where I was at. I was fine with the loss. Like I said, I mean, I didn't project the Bears to win more than 4 games this year. I think that 4 games is my over and under on the Bears, and
they're going to get it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're going to get it now.
Maybe.
I know that's crazy. There's no defense, so you got to be careful. But do the Packers have an offense? Like, I think they're.
Here's the thing, Clark. I think people are getting a little too overexcited about Justin Fields and the Bears.
Absolutely. I am. I know.
I attacked the game. I attacked the game from a fantasy aspect because the Miami Dolphins were that bad against the pass. Like, they are a team you attack. You know, like this week, the Miami Dolphins are playing Cleveland. I'm absolutely going to look at playing some Jacoby Brissett. I'm not going to do it with the same excitement as I did with Justin Fields, who I felt had a legitimate ceiling, but I'm still going to look at maybe playing that game. It's the same situation. They're playing Miami. It's a 48.5 over and under, same as it was this week versus the Bears. So I'm going to be looking at quarterbacks against the Miami Dolphins. Justin Fields is definitely on a different level, and I knew he was trending upward, and I knew we could take advantage of it. Now, that said, he's in a very similar situation again this week with the Detroit Lions. You know, they're the same situation as the Miami Dolphins. They're a team you attack with the quarterback. and good things happen. So they could absolutely win this game for sure. And then I just want to pull up the Bears schedule here. Let's see. Let's
Do
see where
you
they're at.
do you
But
know the most rushing yards per game this season?
the Chicago Bears. And most of those
195 195.4
and most of
per
those
game.
are from the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know,
You know
not
who's
it's not
second?
um
What you just said probably could give you an inkling to that.
yeah, no, I can't
Most
think
of
off the
those
top.
yards are from the quarterback.
Yeah,
So it
so
is
Baltimore Ravens.
the Baltimore Ravens with 168.1. They're almost 30 yards behind. And then Browns, Falcons, Giants.
Oh, what the hell I'm looking at?
Man, the Falcons only run the ball, don't they? They don't pass either.
Yeah, they're the same situation. And
Falcons.
you know, that's
Yeah.
who we have. We have Detroit,
Without the
and then we have
promising quarterback.
Atlanta, and then we have Atlanta, and then we have the Jets, the Packers. So I mean, you could get 3 games. You could get 3 wins out of those 3 games. These 4 games. These next 4 games. You could absolutely win every one of those games, but you could absolutely get your ass kicked in all those games too. I mean, that's where the Bears are right now. The Detroit Lions offense could definitely beat the Chicago Bears, defense, and the defense of the Lions could get lucky and stop the Bears offense. I mean, it's a home game. I got to figure the Bears are going to win this game, but it's not a given. It's not a given against the 2-6 Lions. And
No.
then the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons. You never know. Like some weeks they play really well. Mariota gets the job done. Very similar to the Bears. Only throwing the ball 19, 20 times a game, but rushing. And then the Jets are like a team you just don't know what the hell's going on there.
Right.
And then Green Bay. I mean, look, could we beat the Packers? Probably. We couldn't get it done earlier this season, but we're trending upward now. I can see that going our way. But then you get into you get Philadelphia, you get Buffalo, you get Minnesota. I don't think we're winning any of those games. And then Detroit's also in those final 4. Which could be another win. So yeah, I mean, look, they could definitely go over. You're probably safer betting the over on my 4 games right now, but I'm still sticking because that's where I set it at. So,
I mean, I'm not saying, but perhaps those 3 games in a row with those big teams out east in Buffalo and Philadelphia and then Minnesota, maybe just maybe our quarterback has COVID, which lasts 7 days, so he misses 2 of those, right?
yeah.
Like maybe just a thought. I don't know. Not that I mean, I do want him to keep developing, and he's doing fine against good defenses already. So who knows? I'm excited for that young man. He's a hell of an athlete.
He is.
I can't say enough of it. I cannot say enough of it. Al, in all honesty, that trip to Dallas, that stadium was fantastic. The people were very kind. I do think that if the Bears had found a way to win, there might have been more things might have been more testy between fans in the crowd.
I see.
They were not, which I was good with. But yeah, I can't do a trip like that often. We had beverages. It took me until Friday to start to feel good after that weekend. It took me until Friday. I got back on Monday. It took me until Friday to feel good. I ate so much brisket. I drank so many beers that it took me until Friday. That being said, my buddy who lives in Southern Illinois, who missed out on the trip from home, my buddy Jeff, lives down by Quincy, brought up next season, Al, and maybe you'd be interested in this. I'd love it if you could be. Over in Kansas City, where they have great barbecue, the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields will be playing in Kansas City next season.
Ooh.
And if possible, somehow my buddy's down by Quincy, he said he's 3 hours or so from Kansas City. I had no idea. That's amazing.
Yeah, Quincy's right next to
Close
St.
to
Louis,
St. Louis, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a suburb of St. Louis.
Yeah.
I know. I only know this because I looked at doing some radio work down there once, and
Really?
yeah, just wasn't for me.
My guy Jimmy's out there, and Ross gets down there for some games at that stadium with him. Like, I don't know. It'd be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested. I mean, if you plan something, let me know.
Yep.
I can't say that Kansas City is definitely like a
Destination that I
the
was looking at.
destination
Yeah.
I'm excited for, but at the same time, it can be. I mean, I can see myself talking myself into there is a lot of history in Kansas City for sure.
Sure. Los Angeles,
Yeah,
Peoria.
I've done LA. I've done LA, and I'm just not a fan. And the fact that LA is so expensive.
Have you done LA for like a game?
No. I've
Okay.
never done a football game outside of Chicago. Oh, Detroit. I've been to a Lions game.
Oh, yeah.
Those
I
are the
don't
only
think
two.
I've ever watched a football game in a true dome. There you
Yeah,
go.
well, there you go. It's nice. I saw WrestleMania in the Hoosier Dome, and I saw WrestleMania in the same dome you were just at.
Right.
And
I think
I've
the
been
roof was probably closed for that one.
the
I
roof
would
was
guess.
closed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the sun? Was the sun coming in through the side of the like
Yeah.
beams? Like you saw
Yeah,
like
the sun
light
was all
beams?
shining just on the one side there. I didn't really get a chance to walk around the entire arena or anything. Like we walked in pretty close to where our seats were, and just
You know,
we got there just in time for the national anthem. Like it was cutting it close. Made it happen.
WrestleMania is like
We
9 hours.
jumped out of the lift. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
WrestleMania is like 9 hours.
So
So I was there for like
you
eight,
had
nine
time to
hours,
check that place out.
and I don't remember walking around it whatsoever. I have like no. All I remember is being inside of it and walking to my seat. I don't even remember using the bathroom, which I mean I must have. So
I would gather.
now the Rosemont Horizon. I know every back alley, every corner, every crack in that
Of
place.
course. Of course. I was able to, let's see here, catch some of Dallas because I got there Friday, so we went out in Dallas Friday. Saturday we went to East Elam, to the neighborhood of East Elam, which is like seems like a lot of old factories with a lot of bars and restaurants there. Kind of
Yeah.
I don't know, Bucktown or something ish. Jack White is co-owners with Ian Kistler, a baseball player, of a baseball bat making store. You probably wouldn't have been
Ew.
too big on
No.
being there, but it was cool.
Gross.
Got to watch a guy making a bat in the
Oh,
through the glass
okay.
in the factory part. Bought some stickers that I lost later that day, and then what I noticed was at quite a few of the bars around there are like murals. They're very big on a big event for Chicago folks, a big sporting thing that happened when Robin Ventura charged the mound on Nolan Ryan when he played for the Texas Rangers, and Nolan Ryan punched the shit out of him, beat the hell out of him, and Nolan Ryan was like 20 years older, and that is immortalized all over that town. I didn't realize how proud of that the city would be, and I don't know if the whole city is, of course, but it's a moment that's known. It was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, did you have a chance to watch any of the World Series? I mean that just wrapped up.
Yeah, I didn't really watch any of it. None of it. Zero. I was in Dallas for some of it, and then when I got home, I was unable to. I possibly watched an at bat. That's it. It
I
was
probably
fine.
watched more.
Did you?
Probably not actually, because like anytime it was on, I would make sure like the TVs closest to me were on something else. Basketball,
Nice.
badminton,
Yep.
golf,
Yep.
competitive curling, bowling. I mean, whatever it took to get away from the World Series. I'm basically, when it comes to the World Series, I'm Nurse Ratchet.
Who's Nurse Ratchet?
She was a nurse who hated the World Series.
Okay. All right. From where?
From the Crazy House. One who flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Nice.
Jack Nicholson.
Right.
You've seen this movie, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. It's been a while. I don't. All right. Maybe I need to watch it again. I think I probably do. You need to give it
Yeah,
another.
yeah, yeah. Jack Nicholson wants to watch the World Series, but Nurse Ratched says it's during the time when we listen to classical music. And you know what? She was right. These crazy people didn't need to watch the World Series.
Okay. All right. Speaking of things that are on television, the Bulls last night they beat the Toronto Raptors. They
Up,
were
Sean.
able, yeah, they lost a couple days earlier. They couldn't figure it out, but last night they were able to get the victory done. And then also last night on television was the mid-season finale of Quantum Leap.
Oh, enough with this quantum leap. Where did he leap this time?
He leaped back to 1996, and he was a kid. He and three others were escaping from a high school thing, like kids send their bad kids, parents send their bad kids to these high schools. Well, they'd been getting abused. Well, in the original timeline, these four kids were lost in the woods and died out in the woods. And he had to go out there and try to keep them alive. He and his Al, who is Addison, they were able to, they were working on keeping it going. However, there's still some intertwining of the original story, which I'm sure your MacGyver never really did. I'm sure it never really talked about the old MacGyver.
Yeah,
no,
it did.
Not really.
Well, it did because
all the time, every episode, was it always progressing? Every episode, was it always?
Well, old MacGyver was new MacGyver. They were the same. It was a reboot, not a continuation.
Oh, well, then that's different. That is completely different. Of course.
Yeah,
what are they going to do? Is MacGyver going to go into an alternate universe? He's not Quantum Leap. They're not doing sci-fi stuff. They're doing, gadget.
He could have been MacGyver's dad.
Different. Although Ben, who is, he's the new Leaper. Ben, he couldn't have. Sure,
Ben.
his dad.
What a dumb name.
His dad.
No, Sam.
Ben. Oh, Ben. Come on.
I even hate the name of the guy leaping.
It's no Sam. You're right.
Ben.
It is no Sam. You got it. That's
amazing. The hell names their kid Ben?
Oh, that's
Benjamin.
Fantastic. But Ben, he actually did some MacGyver stuff. He had to put a splint on the kid's ankle in order for them to be able to keep walking to go find water. They had to find water to survive, Al. Al.
You know what?
Al. Can you
know
start
what'd be
calling me
awesome?
Sam?
You know what'd be awesome? If Richard Dean Anderson did a cameo on Quantum Leap.
There you go. That's it.
If he was the Boy Scout leader who had to fix the kid's legs in the woods and build some contraption, and then on Quantum Leap, if Scott Bakula would leap
MacGyver, all of a sudden on MacGyver, they I know it's over, but they do like a special movie, and guess who's playing MacGyver's dad? Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula. Boom.
There you go.
I love it.
Boom. There it is.
Then I would watch. I would watch both shows. Both shows were terrible. I mean,
they both
really
are
bad.
the same. Like they both have that's the thing with these shows now. It's all what do you call it? The collaborative.
They're cast. They're cast as
too many people. Yeah. You got to appeal to more.
Right.
TV execs get in it. I did get to see the original pilot with a possible alternate ending for it and stuff. And before the execs got into it and stuff, it did look better than what it ended up being. But that's the mid-season finale, so it's not on again until January 2nd. So you don't have to hear me talk about it until then.
Well, maybe I'll get caught up during this this off season of the Quantum Leap.
Have you watched this bodybuilding murderers? This Sally Nice or whatever?
The lady who traps guys between her legs with holds. I've been curious. I've watched the trailer on Netflix like 3 times on it, and I've yet to pull the trigger. I mean, I think I know the story.
Yeah.
For the most part, and the Dahmer thing seemed a little more interesting, but the muscle
Dahmer's a movie.
Story, it's a 9-part. It's like a 10-part miniseries.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. But it's acted, right?
Correct,
that's actors doing.
It's like
a story.
LA, correct?
Right. Yeah. Now this was a documentary. It's
documentary, and it's
Dateline.
It's 3 parts. It's like 3 hours, so it's a little easier to consume.
Sure.
So I almost pulled the trigger on that over Dahmer. But
I mean, that could be like you just finished Del Rey, so you need something short and
Yeah.
quick. 3
There's something to
episodes.
snack on.
Like that's like after driving home from Florida. The next time I drove to Michigan, it's like, what the fuck is this? Nothing. No.
This El Rey ended beautifully. I think I still.
Awesome.
Here's the frustrating thing with El Rey. Being an American and not understanding or speaking Spanish or reading Spanish, I can't research if things are true. Like, for example, at the end of the series, it builds up toward he's gonna have his retirement concert in Arena, Mexico, in this bullfighting arena in Mexico, where no musical artist has ever sold out. So the guy who owns or runs the booking for the arena hates him. He fired Vicente already in a different job and just wants to do everything he can to stop him. So he files a lawsuit and basically stops the concert from happening the day of the show. But Vicente's like, screw this. I'm going to go out there and perform. The people are already there. So he starts heading towards the arena, but he's been in this conflict with the devil the whole series. And, the devil looks at him and he's like, I got you now. You wouldn't stop singing. And all of a sudden, a dump truck hits Vicente's vehicle as he's driving to the show and flips him 3 times. Vicente gets out. He's all bloody. He's got blood on his cheeks. He can barely walk. He gets into a cab and he makes his way to the arena. And by God, the show must go on, and it does. So, like, this is something I should be able to Google and go, did Vicente Fernandez really get into a car accident the day of his retirement show at this concert? And, I can't find the information. I just don't know. It's very plausible it's true. But it seems like it's just added drama, which a lot of this series seem made up.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. You always look it up. That must be frustrating because you always look it up.
It's like watching a show in the 80s. I have no idea what to do. I'm not going to the library.
So when I started the Sally the bodybuilder one, I don't remember the story necessarily. I mean, they kind of tell you in the what goes on in the trailer and whatnot, but I don't know. I watched that trailer, and then I watched the trailer for the mom with the 2 kids. That story happened like 2 years ago. She took off with another guy, and the kids they'd killed.
Oh, she murdered her kids.
Yeah, they murdered her kids.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm like, I wasn't sure yet which one to watch, but I figured that the bodybuilder one, Lauren, was coming back into the room, and I was like, well, let's try this. I figured the bodybuilder one would be more lighthearted, like to watch with her, rather than somebody killing their fucking children.
You don't want to.
I don't think I want to watch that anyway. But.
No, I don't have any children. I've found that children murdering documentaries are the toughest, and they're not that entertaining.
The significant other ones work. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And something just happened. I always talk about this game RimWorld, and in RimWorld they just added children. And now people are all upset on the Reddit about, murdering babies and babies getting murdered and, taking kids and making them into like sex slaves and all that kind of stuff. Like, which I wouldn't even know how to do in that game, but people have figured that out. So like people are all up in arms about these kids. I mean,
I'm up in arms that somebody was doing that. That's what I'm really up in arms about.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Did that in the fucking game. Like, you're a fucking creep.
Yeah. Like, why? Like, I don't even have slaves in my game. Like, I'm old school. If you work, you get a room and board. There's none of that happening. So, so people are really upset about children in games. Sometimes, like, the kids could try to murder you, and you got to fight back. So,
sure, in the game. That's why.
In the game, yeah.
That's funny. So I picked the other one, and that one didn't work either. The bodybuilder one didn't work either.
No, they were into some weird sex stuff too, right? Like that's
yeah, it's getting there. Well, she did some things. Yeah,
she gets paid to beat up dudes, and
I don't think it was. If I recall, it was more like wrestling, but.
Yeah, but there's an erotic element.
They're both jacked. They're both absolutely jacked.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so far, and you watch the trailer, and that's what the trailer is about. It's like Well, where are we at here? Is it self-defense or not? Now,
Right.
the Dateline thing. When she's getting interviewed, it
Yes.
definitely looks like she's probably in a jail. But it's
Yes.
ambiguous. Like it's
Right.
very not very like she's in a fucking jail. Like I'm pretty
Because
sure
in the
on one
olden
episode.
days, like 10 years ago, they would have the scrubs on and you would know immediately. And
Right.
somehow they've
And I'd
gotten
give
the
it up.
prisons to play along now where they let them put on civilian clothes. So you're not sure, quite if
However, did they get the prisons to do that?
yeah, they talked to him. Some
Okay,
Hollywood guy came and he's like, "Hey,
All right. So
you're
I've
giving
got
away
the
the
answer.
story."
I've got the answer on Vicente Fernandez. I found it.
Okay.
Right here.
Thank you.
No, I'm kidding. I did not. I just thought that'd get you. I don't have the answer. I think what I did was I Googled it, Al.
Yeah.
And I think I probably found the same thing you did. Vicente Fernandez has an accident on his Los Tres Potrillos farm, on his farm.
Right.
He was hospitalized during the week of the emergency surgery after the fall that he suffered at his farm. Probably found that, right?
Yeah, I did. And that was a much older Vicente than the one portrayed at the retirement concert. So, yeah.
So So you're saying this accident happened years later?
The accident you're reading about would have happened years after, yes. I think that was an older Vicente in that accident.
I think you're probably right.
On the family farm, yeah. Dude, and then I'm reading the Wikipedia, and they didn't even get into this on the show. One of his kids were kidnapped, and the kids are all part of the series. One of the
36 episode show. It's a 36 episode show, and you left this out?
One of his kids was kidnapped for 3 months and sent Vicente one of his fingers. And Vicente had to drop money from a helicopter, like $1 million from a helicopter to get his kid back.
Hang on, that's it. See, that wouldn't be believable in the show.
No. I would think that was in it. I think that was bullshit. But that was, from what I understand, that was real. Unless this guy's whole life is bullshit. Like Andre the Giant. I think Andre the Giant's more myth than reality. There was a real tall guy wrestler, but I don't think he drank, barrels of alcohol.
This accident just happened on October 28th, 2021.
Yeah, so
Vicente got this when he was older. This one that I found, right?
Yeah,
where he's older. So he's still with us?
No, he died last year. He just died.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he died. He died within the year. So
he performed at the 20th Latin Grammys on December 11th.
Yeah, he won multiple Grammys. Dude, I listen to his music. I've listened to a couple albums now. And
I bet he's
solid.
A musician. Yeah.
I don't understand it, but then I'll look up the lyrics. If a song really catches me, I'll Google the lyrics in the English translation, and it's pretty heavy stuff.
Okay. Okay.
It sings a lot about death.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that, where you're like, man, it really felt like he was really telling me something. He was speaking from his soul, and then he was singing about chickens dancing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no. That was funny on Raw this week. The two Japanese girls got into it. And, there's always this thing, they always talk about how Asuka sounds like, she's doing this, character, and, it's bad. But then they actually translated, I saw on Twitter, somebody translated the Japanese, and it was pretty good. It was like a good promo.
I was going to tell you, I was watching last night, and I saw it. I'm like, I thought it was fine. I thought it worked.
Yeah.
And then you watch it, and the things they're saying to each other was pretty fun.
Right, because it sounded like she was making chicken noises, but in reality, it was just translating to stupid, 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 stupid.
Right,
but in English, it sounded like bok, 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 bok.
And Corey Graves was like, I know what that means. When you watch it, I'm like, shit, I missed him saying that.
I did too.
You if I heard him say that, then I would have known she was saying something like "you're stupid." I like that it was like, oh, you speak Japanese? Yeah, I speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? I'm stupid? Yeah, you are stupid. It was really fucking fun.
It was good.
I had a blast.
They should do captioning. I don't understand why they don't support captioning. But
I was ahead of schedule, Al. I was home with the girls who were both sick today. Hazel didn't have school. We were supposed to go to my mom's to do her leaves. Anyway, long story. We ended up staying at home because Vera's rocking a fever. Hazel had a cough last night.
Yeah.
So Lauren came home early, and I got down here, and I was able to get things set up, a lot of things set up. And then I was like, let's go watch some of Crown Jewel. Let's go watch some more of it. And I enjoyed everything that I had time to watch. I really did. It was a lot of fun. I think Logan Paul, I know nothing about him. I want to be annoyed by him. I am annoyed by him. I should be. Everything that I've heard of him, like whatever. Great job. Like just a great job. And that, the first thing I saw from it the other day on Twitter on Saturday was, him doing the thing. It's on our, it's actually, I made it the thumbnail. I added him to the thumbnail right there. If you see, can you see our screen?
I do. I did. I noticed that when we started.
Yeah. I put him there because I just thought, yeah, of course that's what you would do, YouTube influencer. You would fucking record this to put out there. It's brilliant.
I saw some criticism of, it was the Torch. The Torch were criticizing him right after the show. Like, why would somebody pull out a camera in the middle of a match? It took me out of the moment, but it's who he is.
Why would he not? Why would he not? That is, that's the thing. And I think that might be the disconnect that I should have because I am older. And that's probably why the Torch, there's a disconnect there from us to them. So I get that from us to the young guys there.
The kid earned my respect. That's for sure.
Did you see what's in his right hand there?
Is that the Quantum Leap?
Yeah, it is.
Ziggy? Is that the new Ziggy? That doesn't look like old Ziggy.
No. That's Al's. That's the original. That's the original
really?
Al. Yeah, absolutely. All right. But yeah, I enjoyed that match, and it pretty what was that did you see that tweet though? You must have later.
I'm all for Twitter now. I'm finally a fan of Twitter.
And
all these horrible people are leaving.
And I read it first to where like it said, oh yeah, Logan Paul learned that move from Hangman from the Hangman himself in Japan.
Yeah.
And so if you go Google that, do you know what comes up? Like a few people, it took me reading a couple of the comments afterwards. If you look up Logan Paul Hangman, do you know what comes up? You know what he did? Logan Paul.
Oh, the Japanese chorus.
The tweet got me, and I didn't go Google it, but I looked at a couple of the comments. Somebody's like, and it took me a minute to think about it. Like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Because that's the big knock against him. He went into the Japanese suicide forest. And I mean, it's in bad taste, but he was a kid, and he's.
I'm gonna guess he's either close to or he's like realizing like what a fucking dumbass. Yeah, but anyway, that was great. I liked the Bray stuff. I'm interested in the uncle.
Yeah,
Uncle Fuzzy, whatever his name is. I want to know who it is. The internet. I was like, I should have thought of who one guy. I mean, one thought could be Bo Dallas, right?
That's most likely. That'd be my guess.
That'd be likely. We'll see. I'd been thinking the whole time, why doesn't Bo Dallas? They're brothers.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he join his family?
Bo Dallas is married to or engaged to Liv Morgan. So there's some talk that she might be involved. And then Alexa Bliss had that moment at Crown Jewel where the screen flashed she was backstage with Asuka giving an interview, and the screen in the background flashed with the Uncle Fuzzy or whatever, and she was like, okay, whatever. So I mean, there's still rumors she might be involved. This thing could be a disaster. This whole thing could end terribly. This could be the Shockmaster Part 2. Like we've seen Bray Wyatt stuff fail in the past, but right now I'm on board.
Triple H is giving him another shot, and that's let's see, because it does seem so damn creative. It always has. I don't know. The Giants going against each other.
That was fun.
Had a little fun with that. Yeah,
they delivered too. Like everyone thought those guys would just stink up the show. And I don't think that was the case.
And I do like what they did with Brock and Lashley. Like, there's no way that match is going long no matter what.
Yeah.
So the way that they did it, where, Brock got lucky after getting his ass kind of kicked, and then Lashley kicked his ass again, but Brock still wins the match. And then I saw last night.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
And I'm a fan of Mustafa Ali. I really am. But at the end of the night, when Seth Rollins, issues the open challenge, Mustafa Ali gets on the big screen and answers it. And fucking Lashley comes in and just tosses him out. But what got me was when Mustafa Ali came back at him, and you're like, oh, he's going to come back and get him. Nope. Just one more time.
Yeah. My favorite thing is, like, so he throws Bobby Lashley, he throws Mustafa Ali off the screen, and all of a sudden you just hear a pipe falling. Which is like, in my mind, I'm just picturing the guy on the camera, like, okay, now cue him, and then someone drops a pipe, like. Yeah. But that's the fun stuff. The detail that kind of goes into the Triple H stuff is entertaining, and the Bobby Lashley is a monster thing. He goes out, he beats the hell out of Seth Rollins. I mean, that's fun. Like, I want to know what happened. That guy's 46 years old.
Wow, and
the man is ripped, like insane size. 46.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild.
So, yeah, I enjoyed it. The crowd last night on Raw was so horrible. It was the worst crowd I've ever seen in wrestling.
It's funny. I had seen that. I saw somebody tweet they should never go back to Wilkes-Barre ever.
Yeah, no, ban it. I would put it on the ban list.
Live shows only.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, they need to put on a show, and I saw quite a bit of it. I'm like, then normal crowds are all about this. Like,
yeah. They were like just sitting on there. I guess they just lost the World Series. So
Saudi was, Saudi was going nuts.
Yeah, it's gotten, when they first started doing those shows, the entire crowd was like the King's family, and they had no idea what was going on.
They didn't know if they could react.
But the fans now are getting into it, and it's fun to watch. I mean, it's a terrible situation and all that shit, but
you see less of the dignitaries there. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather they weren't, but whatever.
Right.
They can't, they're not getting out of that contract. There's no way. There's no way they would.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Fuck. That sucks.
I think I saw that they make more money on one show than they did for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah. And Brock Lesnar comes in, flies in, does 5 minutes, boom, boom, I'm home. Hell of a payday, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
Like, I don't even think he wants to, like, I think he wants a break from wrestling right now, but he's like, Saudi, all right, I'm there.
All right. I am scared to bring this up because I just saw one tweet and I did not look it up. I'm pretty sure it's real. Like, Logan Paul's knees fucked.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. Like he was saying, it said like ACL, MCL, like,
yeah, he got the whole
ACL, but meniscus, MCL, and probably ACL, something. All of it.
You scared me. I thought you had some new Josh Allen news. I was getting worried.
No. Yeah, no, that's the one we're waiting on right there.
Says right now the word is limited but hopeful for Vikings, so maybe it's not that bad.
Do you have him as your quarterback in any year-long leagues?
It's the Scott Fish Bowl.
Oh, that's what you said. Who's your backup?
It's a 2-quarterback league. I have Josh Allen. I have Justin Fields, who, by the way, neither of them have gone off on the same week. And then Marcus Mariota is my backup.
I mean, that's probably the best you're going to get in a 2-quarterback league, right? Who's the backup?
Marcus Mariota.
Scott Fish? No, I'm sorry. Who's Josh Allen's backup? And do you give that any kind of a shot? I mean, they've still got the offense in place.
In the Fishbowl, the rosters are so deep. And it's a 2-quarterback league. I mean, there are no free agent quarterbacks. I've been struggling. It is auction, yeah, but it's not it is auction, but it's not aggressive.
Okay.
I've found that like a lot of you kind of get what you want if you're paying attention. And so, but I mean, I'm happy. I'm doing so well in the Fishbowl. I sit here and I talk like I'm a professional at fantasy football, and I am
You
hanging
are.
with the professionals. So,
You are. I believe in
there's
that completely. And I apologize for missing the last 2 shows. I know I gave you more of a heads up the week before.
yeah.
Last week, yeah, last week I slept right through alarms. Absolutely. But I'll be back this week. Last week there was a little bit of confusion. I had thought that you were going to get back to me by, before you went into work or something to know if your internet was in. And I was still like coming back off of the week that was and had been a horrible
Yeah.
fucking day. And so Thursday night, like it just, yeah, it was bad. And I had set alarms, didn't wake up to any of them for the next day. And I was kind of half like, when I woke up, I'm like, oh, it probably worked out because Al's internet, like that kind of a thing. So, but either way, I apologize. I wasn't there.
Well, I have this problem right now in fantasy football. I have my
I
quarterbacks are
enjoyed those
Josh
shows.
Allen, Justin Fields, Marcus Mariota, and Taylor Heineke, who I've picked up recently, and they all have week 14 as a bye week, minus Josh Allen. So I gotta get a backup for Justin Fields for week 14.
Oh,
I thought it was going to be Mariota, but same week. So yeah, I mean, man, that's tough.
wow, that's
Trying to get a
tough. You got them
quarterback.
both? Yeah, you're going to have to go for Allen's backup if that happens too.
But then I still need that guy to play. I can't play him
Oh,
because Josh Allen is playing.
oh fuck.
I'm fine. I'm not fine if Josh Allen goes down, but I have quarterbacks that can start up until week 14. Then I have
I
nobody.
think I think you got to go for the back. Like if he's not playing, like if he's out,
Yeah,
you've got to
I
play
got
the
to grab
backup
him.
this upcoming week. Drop Mariota because
My
then
options.
you at least know that then for the bye week you have 2 quarterbacks still. Does
So
that make
right now,
sense?
yeah, it does.
Because you have
Right
either
now,
Allen or the backup.
right now, here are the free agents in this league. The
Mhm.
only starting free agent available right now is Baker Mayfield.
Jesus, is he starting? He's not starting.
Oh, that's right. It's still
They
PJ
just
Walker.
activated Darnold. I think he's probably going to start.
Yeah. So it's Mayfield, Foles, Driscoll, and Bridgewater, not a starting quarterback amongst them. So I mean,
Jesus.
it's rough. It's rough. Now it is a super
Al,
flex.
right now my numbers are telling me for us in the footballers real quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish
Yeah.
that. If it's a flex, what?
Well, if it's a flex, I mean, I can start anything in that position. So I mean, even a
Sure.
kicker if I need to.
Okay. Yeah. I get all right. That helps there. No, but I'm saying like I just went to go look at like my QB cheat sheet and I pulled up
Yeah.
our football guys on FFPC. And right now my numbers and they're not necessarily the best, but I'm seeing that Fields has just jumped for the rest of the
Yeah.
season. Herbert from 8th to 7th.
I actually put him in as the starter this week already.
Nice
I always set
job.
the lineup early for that way we can kind of look things over. And yeah, I have
Yep.
Fields over Herbert,
Yeah.
definitely with the
He
matchup.
he won me by me playing him over Murray in foosball. It's the reason I won.
Yeah,
Oh man, do we have a tight end?
no, we're in
No.
really rough shape.
Holy
If
shit.
if what's his name is out, which sure seems like
Yeah, it seems
Andrews.
like that's at least another week, doesn't it? Without Andrews. Yeah. We got to grab a kicker, but yeah, who do you have in? You said? Oh yeah, Fields. I mean, my numbers say him for sure. There we go.
It looks like Brock Wright is still available, the
Herbert
Detroit
could
tight
find
end.
off. Okay. Well, he didn't do shit.
Yeah, no, he didn't do any.
I
But I mean,
started him.
He's our best risk. He's our best upside.
Sure. Sure.
Tommy
Sure.
Tremble caught a touchdown. He's available, the Carolina tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he splits time there. Brevin Jordan, Houston is available, and James Mitchell, also of Detroit. James Mitchell's a stud tight end. Like the dude could ball. He's
Mm-hmm.
23 years old. He was aggressive in college over there in Virginia Tech, and I legit like I think they think they have a future with James Mitchell. And if you're in a dynasty league, you may want to grab James Mitchell, on a waiver because nobody's touching him right now. But that Detroit offense is good. That Detroit offense needs a tight end. And I think James Mitchell is the guy that they're looking for. Now, does he outplay Brock this week? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to give him the opportunity because Brock Wright failed last week. But James Mitchell also available on the waiver wire if we want to maybe go for maybe a higher ceiling, but more risk.
Yeah.
So I'll leave you. You're in charge of the waiver wire this week. You get these guys.
I'll go get them.
Figure this out. I'm happy with whatever you do.
I worry a bit about the auction there, and we'll see.
You know what? I'll just say this: it's near the end of the season. That money's useless afterwards. Be aggressive. Get what we like. If we need a tight end and there's one good available tight end, be aggressive. Even if you overpay, we need the guy. Like we don't have options.
Okay. All right.
We could probably. I think I picked up one of the Detroit wide receivers. Raymond, he might be droppable. Tooney, man, I want to drop him, but I still don't know what he's going to do. So we'll see this week with the Chiefs how he's involved.
I'm still seeing Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah.
Which is tough. I'd rather not, but.
Yeah, I mean, our cheat sheet, the shared cheat sheet we'd use has Mo Alley Cox at 31 and Mitchell's 25.
Okay. Oh yeah. There's Wright, Jordan. All right. I'd go after
my
Mitchell.
guys are saying, well, likely is the best guy to grab, which we don't have an opportunity to. I think we had a shot at him and I underbid, which again, that's why I'm saying, like, man, be aggressive. It's okay to be aggressive and spend money now. Because
you'd mentioned throwing the kitchen sink at him, and I think you did. I think you went aggressive.
Yeah,
but I guess not enough.
I think I did think I was going aggressive, and I think I put like 89, and the winning bid was like 115. I should have done like 200. Like we need this guy. So again, that's a mistake to learn from.
Yeah, was that last Wednesday or was that? Sorry, I'm gonna try to. I want to see what we lost him to here real quick.
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. What else? James Mitchell. Yeah, all the guys my guys are recommending.
We were the only other team in on it. We bid 89 on Isaiah Likely. And Tall Dark Stranger bid 102.
Yeah, so we were close.
You're close. Yep. I mean, and he did. He got the touchdown that was needed. I mean, that's all you're looking for there, right?
Yeah.
If he gets a touchdown, you're like, boom, that's all I needed. Yep. Oh, well, that's all right. What else?
My guys are saying Dan Arnold.
Arnold, huh?
Yeah, but so Dan Arnold, Evan Ingram is considered day-to-day with a back injury. If his status declines, Arnold is a nice streaming option against the Chiefs. So, like Dan Arnold gives us the most upside, but if Ingram plays, we're screwed. Then we have to get like an early waiver option. So, yeah, that's tough. And like, there's not a lot of guys I want to drop.
Do you think somebody's going to go right after Arnold? Oh no, we wouldn't be able to get him until Sunday. So we've got to make the shot at James, at Mitchell, right? And somebody else. And then we need somebody though. We have to have a starting tight end.
Yeah.
That's what's tough about this league, which, we're playing with the big boys here. So that I can't just go to free agency, can I?
No.
Everything is
bid. Everything is bid.
Ooh.
Yeah, this league's the only league I'm in that's like that. It's tough. Because there's a lot of I win a lot of my leagues because I do fantasy football, Friday night going into Saturday. I'm doing most of my work getting shit set for, being able to pull all the triggers on Saturday. And I'll see something trending. Like I'll see a wide receiver who's projecting well, and I'll just pick him up, So that's how I win a lot of my shit. And you can't do that with this league. There's been multiple times where I've gone, oh, we got to grab this guy. And I look, he's available. But
you can't.
Yeah. I mean, I throw the bid in for Sunday, but
sure.
By that point, everybody's sharp to it.
Absolutely. So if you're watching a show and you've watched it for a long time, have you watched a show like episodically, weekly-ish for a long time?
NYPD Blue.
How about no, but you don't watch it once a week. Or you did back in the day.
I did in the day. No, I mean in modern day
MacGyver.
Streaming, I did for about the time you've done Quantum Leap. Like I know I was in on it for like the first 4 or 5 episodes. It was on a night where I enjoyed coming home and just watching TV, and so I was able to pull. It was Friday night, which I now watch. I watch SmackDown because SmackDown's gotten good. So I'll come home from work and it's Friday, so there's a lot of energy, but I have a lot of work to do with fantasy football. So to calm down, I'll generally get a Euro and I'll sit and I'll eat my Euro and watch wrestling, for 2 hours, and then I'll jump into fantasy work. So.
Okay. I like that. So I have a show that I've been watching that's episodic, weekly for some time now. Similarly, and if this happened to you, Al, where one service, if you pay up now, there's an app where you can watch it on their app. And the last 2 seasons, it's been like, watch a week ahead, grab the app, watch a week ahead, grab the app, right?
Yeah.
So you do. If you can, you do, right? So there's 3 episodes left of this show of mine and Lauren's. We're a week ahead. So a week and a half ago, we watch the 3rd to final episode of the series. Then I start reading that, this past week, the second to last episode is going to show up on this app a week early, right? But I was reading that then they're not going to do that for the finale. So you'd have to, if we watched the episode, if we watch the Sunday night episode, we have to wait 2 weeks to get the finale. And I'm like, this is back to like, it's how I watch Breaking Bad at the end. It's how I watch Better Call Saul at the end. I want that show next fucking week, or at least I want to bank it for 2 weeks. But now I pretty much have to bank it for 3. That's the most annoying thing about. Is that not annoying?
Yeah, I think if I remember right, like The Sopranos had something similar, like where they took like 2 or 3 weeks off before the final. Which would build. Everyone was building.
You don't do that before the final.
Well, you're building anticipation. You're making people watch. I did that with El Rey. I was down to like 2 episodes 2 weeks ago, and I just stopped watching. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to finish this yet, or I really want to pay attention to the end. So.
Oh, okay.
I put it off.
I was thinking you're just done with the marathon. You're like this.
Yeah. Right. I'm out.
I'm tired. Yep. No. Yeah. Anyway, it's The Walking Dead. So that's
you're fine. Don't worry about it. You can stop now. I know.
But I'm glad that I had to explain it without it being The Walking Dead to you. Otherwise, it's fine. El Rey, I did try to start watching it a couple weeks ago, a week and a half, like just before Dallas.
I don't think you're ever going to get to that, Clark.
I don't either. Like, because I was like, all right, I'll do it while working. Can't.
No.
Can't. Nice job watching that. That's impressive, Al, to be honest. Like,
well, I actually like that. I found this out watching what's the Korean show everyone watched?
Mind
Games, or what the fuck was
Squid
it?
Games.
Squid Games. You watch Squid Games, you have to dedicate an hour to watch an episode because you have to sit there and read the translation. And if you look at your phone for a minute, you have no idea what's going on or who's talking about what. You cannot semi-follow. So El Rey with me was like that. It would be like, okay, 2 hours before bed, I have to shut everything down. I have to turn the computer off. I have to put the phone away, and I just have to watch this television program. And it's compelling enough where I was able to do it. So I'm starting to really enjoy foreign stuff. Like I look for things that, force me to watch shows because I watch them more in depth than things I just kind of have on in the background and I half watch.
Otherwise, you wouldn't. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. Well done. Are they each an hour?
They're about 40
Ray?
minutes.
Yeah, I
40
mean, I don't know
minutes.
why. I don't know why I'm asking. You know, I'm not going to be able to watch it.
Yeah, you're not going to watch it.
No.
40 minutes each.
I was a little pissed that Squid Games took home some prizes that I thought should have gone to Better Call Saul, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, Squid Games is an insanely good program. I know what Better Call Saul is too. So, I haven't watched Better Call Saul. I'm not up to date. I've been meaning to. It's on the checklist, but I know it's a good show. I know
it's a good one to check. Like a lot of shows are. There's times when you feel like you're in the grind, and it's like, maybe not, but there's ebb and flows. Ebb and flows.
Yeah, I worked with him. I worked with him at US 99. Ebb and flows.
Nice. It's decent.
He did the water reports.
That sounds like a DJ name or like a radio guy name. Yep. What else?
So Evan Ingram is projecting for 10 to 12 points.
How much?
Well, he doesn't even have a questionable tag. 10 to 12. Where James Mitchell and Brock Wright are projecting for. Brock Wright's projecting 4 to 6, but he is questionable. Mitchell's projecting 3 to 4. So, yeah, like it's just such a shitty situation we're in right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You cannot bet on your tight ends getting injured. Like and it's a shame because tight ends do get hurt a lot.
Yeah, they do.
But the strategy when you draft a dominant tight end is you don't really need to have a backup.
Speaking of tight ends, what do you currently think of Cole?
From a fantasy perspective or from an actual football playing perspective?
I'm a Chicago Bears fan. I don't play fantasy football.
I like Cole Kmet, and I think there's still an upside we haven't seen yet.
I can't agree with you more. It's been nice to see. What I have to say is now I'd like to know, what do you think of him as a fantasy asset?
He's a touchdown or bust player.
Yeah. If you get 2 out of him, it's great.
3 to 4 targets a game, maybe 1 to 2 catches, 30 to 40 yards, which isn't going to get you anywhere. But if he gets a touchdown, you're at 6, and then you'll get to 12. So, last week he was. Do you realize the last week the tight end position was so bad in fantasy football? And this is always something to look at. You look at the ceiling of a fantasy football week to decide where you're going to go at tight end. And this week it was obviously don't spend up, just spend down. And unfortunately, I only had Cole Kmet in stacks, but Cole Kmet was the leading scoring tight end on the week in fantasy football. 22 points was the highest score at tight end. So that's what it means when you have guys who cannot have a ceiling in tight end. Like this week on the main slate, you have Travis Kelce projecting for 25 points. You have Hawkinson, who's only projecting for 15. I'm talking ceiling on both. But it's Hawkinson in a new situation in Minnesota. I mean, the dude could go off. And then Greg Dulrich of Denver. Those guys, I mean, the one of those three almost definitely will put up over 22 points. So, you can't be as safe spending down, although it's not a killer week. There's no Mark Andrews. So.
Right. Well, I don't know. I like Kmet there. For the Bears, that is. For the Bears.
Harrison Bryant available.
It's blocking all right. You seen any of the videos of Tevin Jenkins blocking the shit out of people? He gets
No, I
aggressive.
haven't.
He gets aggressive out there. He follows through and puts them on their ass sometimes, and that's a lot of fun. I think Tevin Jenkins as a guard is might be an all right spot.
Yeah, that was what was said of him coming out of college was,
right.
The guy is super aggressive and just a beast out there. He murders guys, and I like that. I like hearing that about a tight end. So I'm all in on that. So
yeah,
Tennessee, where's Tennessee?
Yep.
So Austin Hooper is projecting 5 to 6 points. That might be the better play. But then his backup's projecting well too. So it's a split backfield. His backup is the guy with the really long name no one can pronounce.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Then so Brevin Jordan, let's see where he's projecting. He might be the guy for us. Brevin Jordan plays for Houston. Is Houston on the main slate? Oh, they're there. He's projecting 4 to 6 points. OJ Howard is his backup. Yeah, man, it's whatever you want to do is fine. You make the call.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Looking in the quick week ahead, the upcoming game with the highest over under is going to be Jacksonville and Kansas City.
Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. I've looked over the slate this week. There's not a lot of value. Ooh. The best value and the best play on the board is clearly the Chicago Bears Detroit game. But
Jesus.
Ownership is going to be that's not going to be. You're not sneaking anything by.
You're not sneaking Fields. You're not sneaking. Yep.
No. Everyone's going to be on that.
And I mean, and the receivers, I think, are a crapshoot. The receivers and tight end, right?
Yeah, but they're cheap is the beauty of it. And so what you look for, what you really want to look for on a winning team and a fantasy team when you're building stacks is a team that's going to be unowned, that's a bad team, that has players that could do average. And then they're playing a team that has a really good ceiling on the other end. So the run back is huge. So, for example, this week the Bears had Hill, who was a top 5 projecting wide receiver on the other end of the field, and you had cheap plays on the other side that could get you average points. Darnell Mooney, Komet, they were under, I think they were under $5,000 each of them. This week Mooney is 5.5, but that's still, you're not paying anything. Chase Claypool is even more interesting. He's cheaper. He's 4.8, and he's going to want to show something off. And Cole Kmet is 3.4. So you could build a double stack with Justin Fields, and then you run it back with Armand St. Brown, who's one of the higher projecting wide receivers on the board. So, but like I said, everybody is going to be doing this.
Oh, maybe
so
it's the St. Brown
probably
game.
Not worth playing.
Maybe it's the St. Brown game though, where the brothers.
Yeah, both brothers.
St. Brown. I don't know.
Yeah, right now St. Brown has the 8th highest ceiling projection on the week, but he's right. He's right in the cluster where everyone kind of is.
Could you imagine
number 1
if Justin Fields had receivers like Tyreek Hill who could just get open with his speed like that, and Waddle, like their receivers were able to just get open.
Yeah, they have the best. They have the best wide receiver duo in football, in my opinion. Argument you could make, I guess, would be Tampa Bay. Trying to think of another. The Cincinnati Bengals when healthy, Chase Claypool and Higgins.
Yeah.
But for my money, I'm taking the Miami Dolphins. I'm taking Waddle and Hill.
Sure.
Those would be my draft duo. So
me too. I mean, hell, my eyes got real wide. I made that offer for Waddle when I saw Joe had him. I mean, after watching the game, and sure, that may be just kind of with the homer on me a little bit. The same with me trusting in Fields over Hurts for this, but I needed to improve in a couple areas. I needed another running back because my running backs are gone, and I needed to get a little better at wide receiver, and I did. So we'll see. And Fields, if he's going to be top 6, top 7.
Yeah, I mean
Who
Fields
knows?
is a good play, which sucks because I think I'm probably the guy who drafted him, if I'm not
I think you
mistaken.
were.
You know,
Yeah.
so I ran out of roster space and
I
had to
know.
move on.
It happens. And in your league, you have more space than, well, one of my leagues is just not run correctly, so it's difficult.
Oh, is that a league we're both in?
No, it's a different one.
Oh.
It's another one where there aren't enough roster spots. There's not even an IR spot. Like it's just
Yeah, because Ross does have the
oh
IR
no,
spots, but
it's
he
the
has a
it's the
small bench.
it's the 8-team league that I was telling you about
Oh yeah,
with a small bench. Like that just doesn't let me be good. Let me build it. Yeah, anyway, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, bud. I really have to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
It's
Sounds
been a
good.
minute. Great
Go to the
show.
bathroom.
It was nice to get acquainted with you again. I apologize for the rough beginning. Things
Sure.
just fucking fell apart over here, and it's my apologies. It's not that I don't care,
Uh-huh.
but yeah.
I believe
Anyway,
you. All right.
I'll be down here at 4:15 Friday morning. We'll do
Sounds
that
good.
show. We'll get out the week 10. Al, congrats on your win last week. I know you were pretty disappointed, but
Thank you, buddy.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you were pretty far
finishing
in the green, to be honest.
finishing 12th out of almost 6,000 players
It's
in a
huge.
single entry league is pretty damn good.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sean. Appreciate you tuning in, bud.
Sean, have a good one. Thank you, man. I appreciate it too. Al, have a good night. Everybody, enjoy your day. Enjoy your time wherever you are.
Oh boy.
Perfect.
All right.